What do you love?
Can you dig it?
Mike gets that wrong
What do
every
you
time.
love?
You don't have to hit all of them. Oh my goodness.
What do you love?
What do
I
you
would smack you.
What do you love? Yeah.
I love ending the
That was
show.
so
That's what I love.
creepy.
It's Halloween, baby.
Scary movies is what Joe put up here. Can you dig the scary movies? Joe?
Nothing from Charlie. Okay. So I've mentioned it before and on this episode. My dad loved horror films. The cheesier, the better, in his opinion, to be completely blunt. He loved cheesy horror. And it was like, I watched it because, like, basically when it was time for a movie, every movie was family movie night, regardless of what the content was, pretty much is what it felt like growing up. And so I saw a lot of scary movies that I really ought not to have seen at that age. There's some of them that I wouldn't ever care to watch ever again. And so I for the most part, I don't watch scary movies anymore, but it's also my wife. She's a scaredy cat, just like my kids. So
what kind of scary movies or what kind of horror movies did your dad like? Because I've got strong opinions on horror movies
Leprechaun
versus slashers versus,
yes.
All of those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the
Papa
Leprechaun,
NASCAR. Rest in peace. He loved it all.
Freddy Krueger, Jason, all of it.
Okay. Level of cheese.
All the cheese. The Cube. That's a lot of cheese.
Toxic
if you've ever
Avenger?
seen The Cube. I've never seen Toxic Avenger. No. American
But all the
Werewolf
Leprechauns,
in
Freddy,
Paris and
yeah,
all that, all of it.
Okay.
I saw so many horror films growing up. Yes, I see a comment.
Horror films, to me, are like bad dad jokes. They're they're dumb. They don't make sense. They don't follow their own rules, and they're just not entertaining. Jump scare. Ooh, you got something to scream at me and jump out. Okay. Well, I'm numb to that now, just about, oh, you splashed a gallon of blood on the floor. But psychological thrillers, monster movies, it's like the Saw films. I haven't seen the newest one, but the Saw films I really enjoyed. And the third one, there's a whole lot of me fast forward. Like, this is just trauma to the extreme. Like, he was doing gross stuff. And it didn't. I even go, this is not clicking with the rest of the first two movies and what the two movies, but that was intentional. I don't know if it was intentional or if they retconned it, but either way, you get to Saw 4 and 5, they actually address what happened there and how it happened and why it happened and how they brought it back into, the mentality of what Saw was. And I really did enjoy that. But I'm just not a big fan I'm paramedic. I'm not a huge fan of gore. I did like The Frighteners. It was cheesy and fun, but it's Michael J. Fox. 13 Ghosts. Oddly enough, I actually really liked the idea of that one and how that worked out. Still freaked me out a little bit when they let them all loose. But spoiler alert, the monster films. I'm all about the monster films, but no, Freddy doesn't follow his own rules. Jason doesn't. It just, they break rules left and right, and they just want you to be scared. And I watched like not Friday the 13th. What's the first Jason movie? Was that Friday the 13th? No, that's Nightmare on Elm Street's Freddy. Friday the 13th is Jason.
Yeah.
Okay. So my paramedic partner at the time, made me watch it because where we were stationed was literally right down the road from where they filmed it all, and said, "Oh, you gotta watch it. You'll recognize a lot of those." So I did, and I'm watching it going. It was interesting. The first one was okay, interesting because you never really see the monster, because it was, if you want to watch it, you go watch it. But then later on, he's like trying to make me watch other ones. I'm like, why are they running from this dude? Well, supernatural, can't be killed. I'm like, well, that's BS. What that is, there's no rules. Everything can be killed I've read enough lore from the Greeks and the Romans to know that everything can be killed. Yeah, I don't know. What about you, Kurt?
Yeah. So look, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. All right. So the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff, I watched the first 3, 4, 5 movies, I think. And I liked them because the mythology was interesting enough in it. Halloween, don't care. Um, and slasher movies generally, don't care. Now, The Ring, Paranormal Activity, at least the first one. Movies.
Yeah, okay. But the Paranormal Activity was, to me, a breakthrough in how they filmed everything and the practical effects. And me, I was fascinated by how they did it as not as much by the story.
Yeah, no, it freaked me out just because, and not so much the story, but just like that. There's a thing about like it's not even blood really, but just having bodies move in unnatural ways is just a little creepy. Blair Witch Project, at the time that it came out, was really good and really creepy. It was one of those found footage things, and at the time that it came out, you weren't quite sure if it was actually a documentary or if it was a piece of fiction, and we found out pretty early on that it was a piece of fiction. But but it worked. It worked. It does not hold up. It just doesn't hold up because we've matured past that kind of storytelling. But at the time, it worked. But if you give me a slasher of any sort, I just don't care. Like Hellraiser, I watched, and it was for the first time last year, I think. And it was like, okay. All right. Don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, so horror movies, we've moved past horror. To it's barely a horror movie anymore. It's like the gore slasher.
Well, yeah, it's dumb. It's what it is. You're agreeing with me. It's freaking dumb. But one, Army of Darkness is not a horror movie or a scary movie. It's just funny. But two, what the Jordan Peele films, those things can be scary.
Which I haven't seen yet, and those might qualify as horror movies to me.
Well, and he actually go listen to the Smartless interview with him. Is right before Nope came out,
don't tell me
and it's Kurt. If you don't want Mike to take over your job, you will do this homework and go listen to that.
Okay, I promise I will do that.
But he talks about how he's just telling a story. He's never aiming quite for a genre. So while Get Out could be kind of futuristic techno, it's also kind of scary. Could be kind of hard. Us is kind of horror, but also kind of thriller and this other stuff. Nope, it's kind of sci-fi because you see the alien in a spaceship, even at least in the previews. But there's some, he's just trying to tell this interesting story, and I just love how his brain works, and I'm fascinated by it. And it doesn't freak me out. It makes me want to know: are they going to survive or not? See, I don't care. You can kill everybody. I actually want to see more movies like that where the bad guys win for once. Not because I'm rooting for bad guys, because it's just so different. It's, the heroes of the story died. Now what? I want to see that, and they won't do it. Joe, you were listing off a lot of what's Phantasm.
Okay. So Phantasm is actually the first movie that I watched as a kid-ish, like I want to say maybe 11, that legitimately gave me nightmares. Like I don't know if it was.
Is that the one on the cover where it's like coming through the wall, the face is coming through the wall or something?
No. This is the silver ball with the 3 prongs sticking out of it.
Oh, I remember seeing that
rolls into your head if it catches you.
Right.
And then there's a gate to hell. But it's and the kind of creepy dude was that tall guy. I can't remember his name, the actor.
Oh, I remember.
He only plays those kinds of only played those kinds of roles. Really creepy, really just scared the ever loving crap out of me at the time. And it was one of those things that was like it was on like early days of HBO or Cinemax, and so you felt like back when I was a kid, you had to kind of sneak to watch that stuff anyway.
Sure.
And so there was that added level of I shouldn't be doing this, and scary movie.
Not quite the same genre, but in the vein of sneaking, my Total Recall. My dad didn't want me to see that, the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, and I did stay up at night and watch it, and I was fine with it. I mean, there's some freaky thing. I'm 13, 14 years old. There's some things you didn't expect to see that kind of freaked you out a little bit, that don't hold up today. Like, yeah. But yeah, I remember trying to go down the hallway in the dark and got a little freaked out after that. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I've not watched, but I'm going to give a plug to Wait, You Haven't Seen with TV's Travis, and he reviewed it, and that's all I needed. Was like, okay, but they're talking about it, this and that. And then Joe, you're talking about the Children of the Corn. Tell me about that one.
It's been so long since I've seen it. It from what I remember, and I could be misremembering, it's basically like a cult. There's children in the corn, and they kill people. Like, that's. I don't remember a whole lot of it. I just remember it freaked me out.
What I find the stupidest thing about it. You don't think I can't boot a 10-year-old across a cornfield? Come at me, bro. That's the show, everybody. Freaking kids. You got to put them in a trunk and give them candy.